Hey everyone, how are y'all? Just Ann, how are you? Hey Marissa, Simple Butterfly, how are you? Ray, how are you tonight? Hey Philly Sports, and Miss Tracy Norman, thank you so much for becoming a member. Welcome to the family. Wait, what up, baby? How are you? Hey, the Post Office Prince. Hey, Crime Crazy. Cherokee Raider, how have you been? Hey, Emerald Queen. Crime and Crochet, how are you? Hey, Miss Holly. Tina Marie, Michelle, how are y'all? Hey, Musical. B. Lifton, how are you? Hey, Ashley B. Werewolf Queen, how are you tonight? Hey, Judy. Hey, Julie. Moonville, how are you? Hey, Banker Guy, and thank you. Hey, Gregory, how are you? Hey, Yorkie Mama. Remillionaire, how are you? 'm just going back through the chat real quick, y'all. Make sure I haven't missed anybody. No, Ray, that's probably my fan that you hear. Hey, Lori, how are you? If I don't sit the fan a certain way, y'all can hear it through the mic. Hey, Jim J. Shills, how are you? I have an email from Judy. Okay, hold on one second. And yes, I did thank Tracy for becoming a member. And let me check my email real quick. One second. Okay. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to get into my email. Okay. All right, I got Judy's and Taylor Ditches. Okay, Judy, is Judy in here? Hey, Vapor, how are you? Sandra, how are you? Hey, Katie Bug. All right, so I did get Judy's email. I'll have to watch that video once I'm done here tonight. Tracy, you're very welcome. Okay. All right, y'all. I'm trying to get back into my chat with this whole new chat thing that they got going on here. Let's see. Yes, Sandra, I'm doing good, honey. Hold on one second, y'all. Dreamcatcher, how are you? Hey, Tara. And thank you, Tara. Hey, K Mash, how are you? Thank you, Sandra. I appreciate that. Okay, Judy. Yeah, I won't be able to watch it right now. I won't. I'll have to wait until I end the live, but I may send it over to Troll and let him watch it. All right. I gotta find Nightbot with his email real quick. Here we go. So I can pin it to the top of the chat for y'all. Hey, Miss Chewy, how are you? And thank you. Oh, Bug, Nightbot wants to act up a little bit sometimes. Honey, how are you? And thank you. And K-Mash, yes, I'm doing good. All right, I'm just going to see if there's a few more people come in before we get started. Thank you, Tara. Hey, J-Luck, how are you? See, I'm watching this and studying. I'm so tired, but this is helping. J-Luck, what are you studying, if you don't mind me asking? Nothing against making camp fix. I don't know. He wants to act up a lot sometimes. Macroeconomic. Okay. You're early, Lori. I'm gonna have to start going early, going live earlier, y'all. Cause this is I'm not. So that way I can go to bed earlier. All right. So this is what I'm gonna do for tonight. I was gonna do one $50 Amazon gift card, but I think instead of doing one, hey Lawnmower Man, how are you? I think I'm gonna do two 25s. That way we'll have two winners. I'm gonna do them. I'm trying to think. I probably won't be on here maybe 3.5 hours tonight. Hey Lights, how are you? Um, so I'll do one about the hour and a half mark, and we'll have to go from there and see how we're gonna do both of them. Hey Candy, how are you? Marissa, how are you? Please do go live earlier. Crime and crochet, I really need to. That way, I like I said, I can end the lives earlier and go to bed earlier. And then I'm thinking about maybe doing a live during the day for like an hour and a half to 2 hours, doing another 2 hour one at night, and then That way we're not all on here at all hours of the night. Okay, so like I said, we're going to do the drawing um, about the hour and a half mark. Everyone who is in the chat, whenever it's time for the drawings, will be eligible for it, except for the mods. Hey Annie, how are you? And earlier is good for you. Annie, I think it may be better for a lot of people. I like the late because it's like late night crime chats. Hey Jeanette, how are you? Do enjoy your late night loves. It's after everyone is in bed and I have some. Yeah, it's just the thing is like if I get off of here at like 2:30 or 3 o'clock, then it's so hard for me to go to sleep. And sometimes I don't fall asleep until like 6 o'clock in the morning. Kelly M, thank you very much. I don't know, banker guy. See, maybe he says sometimes X amount of time for each time the alarm goes off. One drawing. Okay. Katie Bug, I don't know. Since I've had kids, I don't know what sleep is. Hey Shelly, how are you? Let's see. Aloha, I'm Shelly from Hawaii. I appreciate your channel. Well, Shelly, thank you so much, and I appreciate you being here with us. No sleep till Brooklyn. Sandra, yeah. I think that's a lot of my problem. I don't get a lot of sleep. And Shelly, you're very welcome. I see. I can't. The melatonin don't do that for me. It would be nice, but it don't help me. Miss Chewy, you're from East Tennessee. Brown Bear, how are you? Hey Vaughn, how are you? Anthony, how are you? Karma Crochet, I don't have a clue. I literally could sleep for probably a month straight, and I wouldn't even be caught up on my sleep. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started. There was some documents that was released today or yesterday. I got them today, and it's the response. Let me get the right name here, real quick, y'all. So it's the state's response to the request for discovery. Hey, William, how are you? So it's 7 pages. I'm gonna read an article real quick that it talks about the request or the response to the request, and then I'm gonna get into the court papers and go through them real quick. Okay, let me grab my other. And we'll go ahead and get this started. Aaron, how are you? And honey, I'm sorry you're still sick. I hope you get to feeling better soon. Okay. All right. Make sure all my stuff is cut down. Hey, Tammy C, how are you? Let's took a 24-hour hiatus from the case and now back here with y'all. Yeah, I think a lot of us need to take a break from it every now and then. This case is crazy, and it's a lot of twists and turns, and almost every other day something new's coming out. Okay, so It says the Idaho murders. Bryan Kohberger's defense receives hundreds of documents from the prosecutors, and like they got a lot of stuff. Hey, lovable Mama Bear, how are you? Anthony, it does. It's like I said last night, you think that nothing else crazy can come out and then something else crazy comes out. It's crazy. And what's weird is it's a lot of like with Kylie's case and then with the Idaho 4 and then with the Murdoch case, there's a lot of like the name similarities. Like we had Kylie and Kaylee, and then we had Maddie in Idaho 4 and now Maggie in the Murdoch case. All right, so it says Idaho prosecutors have turned over hundreds of discovery documents to Bryan Kohberger's defense team. Jelly Bean, how are you? It says Latah County's prosecutor turned over hundreds of files to the Idaho student murder suspect Bryan Kohberger's defense this week, court records show. The discovery disclosures include nearly 1,000 pages of documents, almost twice as many images, and a video. Now, we're not going to get to see any of this more than likely until court. Probably will never get to see any type of pictures or anything like that, which is fine. Um, but just the documents I would like to see. Everybody take a drink of water every time someone says crazy. All right, so it says the evidence has not yet been made public, and the court has issued a gag order on the case, bearing attorneys from both sides, investigators, and lawyers for the witnesses, victims, and their families from discussing the cases. Kohberger is being held without bond on 4 counts of first-degree murder in a felony burglary charge after allegedly entering an off-campus house on around 4 a.m. on November the 13th and attacking the 4 University of Idaho students inside. It says he could face the death penalty if convicted, and Kohberger's attorney, Kootenai County Public Defender Ann Taylor, filed for discovery on January the 10th. Latah County prosecuting attorney Bill Thompson notified the court of his response 13 days later. And they do have the papers on here, but I have a copy of them so I can get them and zoom in on them where y'all can see them better while I'm going over them. Okay, it says the ambush killed Maddie, Kaylee, both 21, and then a 20-year-old housemate, Xana Kernodle, and her boyfriend, Ethan, who was also 20, who lived nearby and was spending the night. All 4 suffered multiple stab wounds, according to the Latah County coroner, Kathy Mavick, who said at least some of the victims may have been sleeping at the start of the attack. Hey, Izzy, how are you? All right. Police found a K-bar sheath at the scene and alleged that DNA found on the thumb strap helped lead them to Kohberger, who allegedly stalked the house at least 12 times before the slayings and returned to the home in morning after, according to a probable cause affidavit. The suspect was a PhD criminology student at WSU, about 10 miles away from the University of Idaho. And the bottom part of this article I'm not going to read because it's like the same thing. Talking about, like this right here, where he was arrested, waived his extradition. We already know all that. I'm just going to jump right into the documents instead of us having to hear that same thing over and over and over. Hey, Samatu, how are you? Okay. Get this pulled up on the screen for y'all, and then I'm going to get it zoomed in where y'all can see it. Okay. Sama, yes, I'm doing better, honey. Thank you. Hey, Mar, how are you? This will hopefully be very interesting and informative. Yes, and Emerald Queen, I just kind of like skimmed over it a little bit earlier, so I haven't like actually just went in and just read the whole thing word for word yet. Hey Cheryl, how are you? All right, so this is in the District Court of the Second Judicial District of the State of Idaho in and for the County of Latah. All right, and it says over here is case number and then states response to the request for discovery. It says to the defendant, Bryan Christopher Kohberger, and counsel Ann Taylor, comes now the state in the above titled matter and submits the following response to the request for discovery. The state has compiled and will continue to comply. The state has complied, y'all. I can't read tonight. The state has complied and will continue to comply with such requests by providing the following. And what it's doing through all of this is it's everything that they had requested is basically just going through each individual request. So, number one, it says any relevant written or recorded statements made by the defendant or copies thereof within the possession, custody, or control of the state, the existence of which is known or is available to the prosecuting attorney by the exercise of due diligence, and also the substance of any relevant oral statement made by the defendant, whether before or after arrest, to a peace officer, prosecuting attorney, or the prosecuting attorney's agent have been or will be disclosed or otherwise made available. And it says see Exhibit A. And can y'all see this okay? If not, let me know and I'll try to zoom in a little bit more for y'all. Okay, I just want to make sure that y'all could see it okay. All right, so number two was any written or recorded statements of a co-defendant and the substance of any relevant oral statement made by a co-defendant, whether before or after an arrest, in response to the interrogation by any person known by the co-defendant to be a peace officer or agent of the prosecuting attorney, have been or will be disclosed or otherwise made available. See Exhibit A. Okay. Number three is the defendant's prior criminal record, if any, has been or will be disclosed or otherwise made available. See Exhibit A. So number four is any books, papers, documents, photographs, tangible objects, buildings, or places or copies of portions thereof, which are in the possession, custody, or control of the prosecuting attorney, and which are material in the preparation of the defense or intended for use by the prosecution as evidence at trial or obtained from belonging to the defendant, have been or will be disclosed or otherwise made available. That was a long sentence, y'all. Hey, Gigi, how are you? All right, and it says once again, see Exhibit A. In addition, deputies and officers from the Latah County Sheriff's Office, Idaho State Police, Moscow Police Department, Idaho Fish and Game, or other law enforcement agencies may record their law enforcement contacts via an audio recorder or audio video recorder. Any audio and video recordings related to this matter are available for review and duplication on request, subject to the provision of the ICR 16B9 pursuant to said subsection, and except as otherwise specified herein, at any such digital media is unredacted and may contain protected information, thus further distribution is restricted by ICR and 16B9A unless the state provides express written consent or by order of the court. Some of these sentences, y'all. All right, number 5. And yes, Gigi, I'm good, honey. Thank you. So, number 5, it says any results or reports of physical or mental examinations and of specific scientific tests or experiments made in connection with a particular case or copies thereof within the possession, custody, or control of the prosecuting attorney, the existence of which is known or is available to the prosecuting attorney by the exercise of due diligence, may have may have been or will be disclosed or otherwise made available. And it says, see Exhibit A. I don't know if I got all the way to the very bottom to see if it had Exhibit A. I think it does. So I think Exhibit A is on that last page. There's another, like there's 7 pages in this, and then there's another page that tells how much of each thing they ended up sending over. So a written list, and this is number 6. Um, A written list of names and addresses of all persons having knowledge of relevant facts who may be called by the state as a witness at the trial and has been or will be provided separately in accordance with the ICR 16b6. Any record of prior felony convictions of any such person in which persons which is within the knowledge of the prosecuting attorney and all the statements made by the prosecution witnesses or prospective prosecution witnesses to the prosecuting attorney or the prosecuting attorney's agents or to any official involved in the investigatory process of the case has been or will be disclosed or otherwise made available. And yeah, if y'all haven't done so, please hit the thumbs up. All right, and once again, it says see Exhibit A. It says see Exhibit A. I noticed that earlier a lot throughout the document. All right, so it says consistent with Ramazier versus the state, 119 Idaho, 1037. And I'm sure that's court. I don't know what the court app 1991 that's going to be part of that case. Uh, and Idaho Public Safety and Security Information System. Restrictions or dissemination of criminal history information. The state generally does not seek NCIC reports or Spillman reports of witnesses. Additionally, the state may call as witnesses anyone otherwise identified or referred to in reports, statements, or other documents referred to in this response. Okay. Hey, JB, how are you? And happy Friday to you as well. So, number 7 is any written summary or report of any testimony that the state intends to introduce pursuant to the Rules 702, 703, or 705 of the Idaho Rules of Evidence at Trial or Hearing have been or will be disclosed or otherwise made available. See Exhibit A. This response does not necessarily include disclosure of expert witnesses, their opinions, the facts and data, or those opinions, or the witnesses' qualifications intended only to refute evidence or theories, but have not been disclosed under the rule prior to trial. Hey, don't go crazy. How are you? So number 8 says any reports or memoranda in possession of the prosecuting attorney which were made by any police officer or investigator in connection with the investigation or prosecution of this case have been or will be disclosed or otherwise made available. And then Exhibit A. Number 9 is all material or information within the prosecuting attorney's possession or control which tends to negate the guilt of the accused as to the offense charged, or which would tend to reduce the punishment therefore, have been or will be disclosed or otherwise made available. In addition, with regards to the material or information which may be exculpatory as used or interpreted, the state requests that the defendant inform the state in writing of the defense which will be asserted in the case so counsel from the state can determine if any additional material or information may be material to the defense and thus fulfill its duty under the ICR 16A and Brady versus Maryland 373 U.S. 83 in 1963. And Delene, how are you? All right, let me go down here. So number 10, it says, to the extent that information exists regarding an informant who is not going to be produced as a witness, including recordings or written statements of an informant or that identifies an informant, such information is not subject to disclosure, and the state asserts informant privileges under the ICR 16G2 and prays for appropriate protective orders pursuant to the ICR 16.1 as necessary. The state objects to requests by the defendant for anything not otherwise addressed above on the grounds that such requests are outside the scope of the ICR 16 and are not subject to disclosure under the ICR 16G, work product and informants. Number 12 says, wherever this response indicates that certain evidence or materials have been or will be disclosed or otherwise made available, such indication should not be construed as confirmation that such evidence or materials exist, but simply as an indication that if such evidence or materials exist, they have been or will be disclosed or made available to the defendant. Some of their words got cut off there at the top. All right, so it says, furthermore, any items which are listed in Exhibit A but are not specifically provided, or which are referred to in documents which are listed in Exhibit A, are available for inspection upon appointment with the prosecuting attorney's office. Additionally, all property forms, chains of custody documents, and similar items are likewise available for inspection on appointment and are hereby deemed to be part of Exhibit A for purposes of this response. Pursuant to the ICR 16J, if the state subsequently discovers additional evidence or evidence of additional witnesses or decides to use additional evidence or witnesses, the state will promptly notify the defendant and the court. And this was dated on the 23rd day of January of 2023. And it was signed by William Thompson, which is the prosecuting attorney. Thank you, White Widow Baby. All right, so let me go down. So that was page 5. So on page 6, and it just says this certificate of delivering, and I hereby certify that a true and correct copy of the foregoing state's response to request for discovery was delivered to the following as indicated, and it was e-filed and served or by email to Ann Taylor. Once again, 23rd day of January 2023. And I don't know who this lady is assigned as Stacy something, but I can't tell what her last name is. Hey, Headphones, how are you? All right, so this is Exhibit A. Okay, and yeah, this is the page I was talking about, but it was also sent to me separately too. So Exhibit A is, hold on, I gotta stretch the page out a little bit so I can see the whole thing here. So it says police reports and documents covered by the ICR 16, which are in the possession of the state, have been disclosed to counsel for the defendant as of January 23rd, 2023. The materials consist of, there's 995 pages of documents. There is an audio, or has audio video, so it's one of the two. And then there is 1,865 photos. Hey, Tree Baby, how are you? So 995 pages, an audio or video, one of the two, and then 1,865 photos. That's a lot of stuff that the state gathered up and during their investigation, and then had to end up turning over to Bryan's attorney. And if they find anything else, um, thank you, Crime Crazy. If there's anything else that they come across, they have to turn that over as well. Marissa, it is. I wish that we could read the documents. Emerald Queen, that's a lot of stuff. I mean, just think 995 pages of documents. Imagine trying to read that many pages. Justice Jane, how are you? I mean, it would take us forever to go through that many pages of documents. Photos we'll probably never see. Documents, maybe. I don't know if they would ever release it, any of it, but we may eventually get to see the documents. The video or audio, I don't know if they would ever allow us to hear that. Lost gonna. I mean, Katie Bug. If I had all 995 pages, I mean, yeah, I would. I would go through them. I couldn't do them all in one night, of course, but um, I mean, I would get each document together and maybe try to go through, a couple of pages a night if I needed to. It would just. I mean, it'd take probably a week to do it, but I mean, I would if I had them. That would just be. That would be a lot of. That's a lot of information. Like shit ton of information. Sandra, I do too. It would be nice if they would release it. Annie, the Idaho Fish and Game, they must have helped with something. I wonder if they helped with maybe searching for the weapon. Because we don't know if there was any, like, let's just use it for an example, that uh, the state park or the forest or whatever it is. I mean, where he was around when his phone uh, quit pinging for a couple of hours, like 3 hours. It, I mean, they could have been in there looking. Um, they could have been in the water looking. They could have been helping on the search or whatever. His attorney and other has to go through. I think Fish and Game are federal. Isn't Fish and Game federal? Yeah, Fish and Game are federal, Troll said. Yeah, it could have been like Crime Crazy said, the water search. All right, so that's the last page. Like I said, the other page that was sent to me separate was this same page that was Exhibit A. Let's see. I swear I don't know how you do it. One paragraph. It's I've kind of gotten used to it now, Tara. All the reading I do. Just the court docs, like the long sentences, is what gets me. All right, let me get this drop back down. I'm gonna keep it where if I need to pull it back up for someone, I can. Honey, that is a good point. Magnet fish in the bodies of water for a knife. Cheryl, I watched it this morning up until they took a break for lunch, and then I had to end my stream because I had to end up going somewhere. So I missed some of the day today. I missed, but I do have some information from some other stuff. I guess I missed anything new. Candy, you're talking about in the documents I just read. What was it that you were wanting to know about? And I'll pull it back up for you. Is there like a certain spot that you missed? Let's see. Okay, there are mathematical optimization methods for hunting lost stuff in water been used since World War II to hunt for subs. That's interesting, musical. It's okay. Okay, no problem, Candy. All right, so let me put that. That way, like I said, I can grab it if I need to. If anybody missed it. Hey, 9mm, how are you? So that was pretty interesting. Hopefully, though, uh, we'll get to eventually hear the audio, hear the 911 call, uh, see some of the documents. Like I said, they'll never release the pictures, which they don't need to anyway. It's too much graphic, personal stuff on there. I'm throwing out the StreamYard chat if anybody would like to come up and give their thoughts or opinions on that document. You're more than welcome to. The 911 call will certainly be interesting. Yes, Candy, it will. I think the 911 call is gonna get rid of a lot of rumors. Hey Sharon, how are you? Yeah, Tammy, she was. That was all the stuff that she had requested, and I think I still got the request. Give me just a second. I can grab that and pull it back up if I gotta find court docs. Here we go. The Krista, how are you? But like I was saying, the 911 call would get rid of a lot of rumors, a lot of speculations. It would finally put the proof out there of who it was that called, uh, whose phone it was from. Well, I don't know if they would really tell us that unless they actually just say it. But maybe who all was over at the house that day. Was it Dylan or Bethany that called, or was it one of the other kids that was in the house that morning that called from their phone? Because the police are saying that the call was made from one of the surviving roommates' cell phone from inside the house. So that would be interesting. I would like to know whose cell phone it was, who it was that called, and who all the kids were that was over there. Okay, and Let me see if I can find real quick the request. Request page 1. I think this is it. Cheryl, there was, I remember seeing a picture, I believe when she was in high school, that she had brown hair. And was she standing behind a table or some letters or something in the picture? Bethany was with the brown hair. Okay, troll. They block the screen from viewing during the video or photo evidence because of how graphic and distressing some. Yeah, honey, what little bit I got to watch, every time they would start to show pictures or anything like that, they had a white cardboard box top that they would put in front of um, Alex's screen that was sitting in front of him on his table. And a lot of times he was, once again, like rocking a little bit in his chair, and he kept cutting his eye up again, to see if somebody was watching him. Uh, I know Dreamcatcher about the 911 call would be nice though. Okay, I got the defendant's request for discovery. I've got it here. I'm gonna pull it up for a few minutes. I don't know if there was there anybody who wasn't in here whenever I went over this? The request for discovery? Look, I think that's one reason why a lot of people want to hear it, just to see uh, how the kids were reacting. Okay, Christy, you wouldn't. All right, so I'm gonna pull it up here, and let's see. Let's see. I'm not a natural blonde. Let's see. Okay. Miss Chewy, no, I was watching whenever they were live streaming it. But yeah, every time they would get ready to show something, they would throw the box top up there. So I don't know if they're trying to keep the people that's sitting behind them in the gallery from seeing the pictures, or if they're doing it so Alex can't see it. It's almost like they're putting it up and trying to make the jury think that whenever they show something like that he gets like super super upset and all this and that. Oh shoot, hold on. Okay, let me go through, and like I said, this is the defendant's request for discovery pursuant to the ICR 16. And there's 4 pages of it. And I'm just going to kind of run down what it is that uh, what it was that they were looking for. So, to the prosecuting attorney comes now Bryan C. Kohberger by and through their attorney of record, Ann Taylor, public defender, and pursuant to the Rule 16 of the Idaho Rules of Criminal Procedure and the Idaho Rules of Evidence, the 4th, 5th, 6th, 8th, and 14th Amendments to the Constitution of the United States and Articles 1, 1, 2, 13, and 17 of the Constitution of the State of Idaho hereby request disclosure of information. Evidence and materials pursuant to the ICR 16B 1 through 9 and the aforementioned constitutional provisions, including but not limited to the following information, evidence, and material. Okay, thank you, Emerald Queen. I'll check it in 1 second, okay, honey? Susanna, thank you so much. She heard two things. Trial won't happen for 2 years, and Anne will step down in February. Oh, Tammy, where did you hear that at? That she's gonna step down in February. Oh, y'all, I forgot I even dropped the link. Hold on, make sure I never. Okay, I just want to make sure there wasn't nobody in backstage. All right, so on the first page, there it says the statements. The first thing that they're requesting is statements of the defendants. Statements of the defendant permit permit the defendant to inspect and copy or photograph any relevant written or recorded statements made by the defendant. I gotta go find page 2 real quick. No, that's not page 2. That's page 4, 3. Here we go. Oh, a card reader said that she was supposed to step down in February? I don't know. I mean, the trial, like, when everything's said and done and a verdict comes out and all this and that may take 2 years maybe, but all right, and they're just wanting copies within the possession, custody, or control of the state. So number 2 was the statements of the co-defendant. A lot of people was thinking that maybe there was a co-defendant. Nobody was, uh, law enforcement or whatever wasn't letting the public know. But I went back and looked up that code, and it's just they basically took that code and just verbatimly put it on paper and sent it. So the whole statements of the co-defendant was, what do you call it? Procedural, I guess. It was something, I guess it has to be included in there because of it's part of that code. Just heard Reverend Donna Serafina's name on investigation discovery. Okay, so then it says number 3, defendant's prior record, which, yes, Susanna, a standard template. So, like I said, and we heard it in the response to the request, that they were going to include any prior records if you had any. So it's basically as it's what they were asking for in this document. They were responding back, I think, pretty much in the same order in the response. Okay, so then there's documents and tangible objects. And that's just, permit the defendant to inspect and copy all books, papers, documents, photographs, tangible objects, and copies and portions thereof, which are in the possession or control of the prosecuting attorney, and which are material to the preparation of the defense, or intended for use by the prosecutor as evidence at trial, or obtained from or belonging to the defendant. Molly, how are you? So then number 5 on the request was reports of examinations and tests. 6 was state witnesses. They wanted to provide a written list of the names, addresses, phone numbers, and or other reasonable means of contact for all persons having knowledge of relevant facts who may be called by the prosecuting attorney as witnesses at trial, together with a NCIC report and a Spillman report of any such persons. And then they have A, which is provide the statements made by the prosecution witnesses or prospective witnesses made to the prosecuting attorney or their agents or to any official involved in the investigatory process of the case. Okay, and then that includes statements, and I got up on page 3 now. Statements to employees. They ask for a lot. Employees, prosecutor's office, such as witness coordinators, and all members of the law enforcement agency that have had any involvement in the matter. I'm sure there's nobody. Hey, Destiny, how are you? Okay, I'm going to grab the link again, y'all. Put it out. Like I said, anybody's more than welcome to come up and give us opinions or anything like that on the response. Okay, so number 7 was the expert witnesses. So any expert witnesses that they're gonna that they have, they want all of their names, written summary or report of any testimony that any of the state intends to introduce, pursuant to the rules of 702, 03, and 05 of the Idaho Rules of Evidence at trial or hearing. The summary provided must describe the witness's opinions, the facts and data of those opinions, and the witness's qualifications. Then they want all the police reports. Provide to the defendant all reports, memoranda, and all the rough notes, field notes of any agent, officer, investigators involved in the investigation, prosecution, and all that. Patty and Pink, how are you? I gotta keep checking, making sure there's nobody in there. All right, then after the police reports, they want all the digital media recordings, audio and video. Let's see. They want unredacted digital media, release unredacted digital media to defense counsel for the purpose of expediting a resolution in a case prior to trial or hearing, or redacted digital media, along with a written explanation of the information that was redacted. Okay, someone with expert witnesses and family expert witnesses does not strictly represent any side. They must answer honestly regardless of who their expertise benefits. Yeah. And I think a lot of them get the experts to try to outdo the opposite side, though. All right, then they want all the search warrants. They want them to provide all documentation in support of any search warrant issued in connection with the case, applications for a search warrant, whether they were granted or denied, all affidavits, declarations, and materials in support of the search warrants, all search warrants, and all search warrants returned in inventories. So even if they didn't even, they just try to get a search warrant and it wasn't granted, they still want it. And that's going to come in like if it is true where they were saying at the one time that they had went in and tried to get a search warrant 3 different times, but the judge kept saying, no, there's not enough evidence. If that was true, then his attorney's going to know who those warrants were for. Because a while back they were claiming it was Hoodie Guy. All right, so they want all the exculpatory evidence. And that's, once again, talking about within the scope of the Brady versus Maryland case. And there's two other cases in there. All right, now I got to go find page 4. I think this is the last page of it. Okay, Philly, no problem. All right, so then we'll the inducement provide all the defendant all the documents pertaining to existence and substance of any payments, promises of leniency, preferential treatment, or other inducements or threats made to prospective witnesses within the scope of the United States versus Giglio. Dreamcatcher, as far as like the search warrants are going, just she's basically asking for any of them. Um, I'm guessing. Hey, Wolfpack, how are you? And thank you so much. I'm assuming, just for whatever reason, I guess to find out, if they try to go in and get a search warrant that wasn't granted, I'm sure she's going to dig into why they were wanting a search warrant for that person or place. Penny, how are you? Welcome back, Katie Bug. All right, so number 13 is identification and just disclosure of whether a defendant or any other person was identified by lineup, show up, photo spread, or similar identification proceeding relating to the offense charge. So they're going to know at that point how he was identified by Dylan. Like what else she said other than his bushy eyebrows, like everything. All right, so then the next one is just evidence pursuant to the IRE 404B, pursuant to the ICR 16A, and the requirement of mandatory disclosure. All electronic surveillances. So, let's see, disclosure of the defendant's status as an aggrieved person as defined by 18 USC 251011, if applicable, and copies of all records and recordings related to all electronic surveillances. Katie Bug. I'm sure his attorney's going to make sure that the eyebrows don't get bushy until like this whole thing is done and over with. Thank you, Miss Chewy. All right, so any drug test, she wants them to provide a copy of all the documentation generated as a result of performed drug tests by the state's agent for drug identification purposes. She wants the types of tests that was performed in the case, testing procedures, reagents and or solvents used in the testing, comparative analysis performed, and numbers of experiments performed in each test. You don't see Dylan on Vimeo. Simple Butterfly, remind me in a minute after I'm done with this document right here, going over it. I'll check my Vimeo and see if I can find her. Crime Crazy says Bethany is a protected witness, not an informant. And hey, Crime Solver, how are you? All right, so they want all subpoenas. Provide copies of each and every subpoena issued by the state and any person or entity, regardless of whether served or not, in connection with the case. So I wonder how many subpoenas they got. All right, and then certifications provide verification of the hire date of all law enforcement officers that may be called as a witness in this matter or who were involved in the investigation and or arrest in the case. Please provide a copy of the post certification of all law enforcement officers identified above. Because the one guy, he only had like 2 years experience, and he was the lead guy on the case. So she's probably gonna pick that apart too. Probably question his experience. Probably if he has any qualifications or anything like that. She's probably gonna question all of that. Okay, so that was all of them. Let's see what has been said by other roommates. I don't know how she's spoken. Dylan and Bethany both gave statements to the to law enforcement. Bethany actually, in her statement, said that she's seen Ethan and Xana from 9 p.m. on November the 12th, so 1:45 on November the 13th, 1:45 in the morning, that she saw them both at the Sigma Chi frat house whenever they were having the party that night. But what doesn't make sense is that allegedly, it we were always told that Dylan and Bethany were out in the community separately that night, and they both ended up home at 1 o'clock. So allegedly, they both were home before the others. But it doesn't make sense how Bethany, if she was home at 1 o'clock, how did she see Ethan and Xana at the frat house at 1:45 in the morning? So that in itself doesn't make sense. And then on top of that, Xana's dad, Mr. Kernodle, said that he talked to Xana that night at midnight and she told him that she was at home with her boyfriend watching a movie. So I don't know how she was at home watching a movie with her boyfriend. That she, and that's what, and I don't have no reason to think that she would lie to her dad, you know, and say she was home when she really wasn't. But it don't make sense how she tells her dad she's at home and he talks to her at 12 o'clock that night, midnight, that she's at home with her boyfriend, they're watching a movie, and then Bethany, who allegedly ends up at home at 1 o'clock, sees Xana and Ethan from 9 to 1:45 in the morning. One of the real ones, how are you? It's like they're Ethan and Xana are being put in two places at the same time, and it don't make sense. Okay, y'all. Let me get this off. So that was all 4 pages. The next page, I believe, was just a signature and stuff like that. So it wasn't nothing to it. But I do think that Ann Taylor's going to pick apart them cops and their experience. She's she wants to know basically everything there is about all these cops who had anything to do with the investigation, the arrest, everything. All right, give me just 1 second, y'all. Let me get this off of here. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Okay. Let's see. They should have shown DA photo lineup before they put. That's another thing, Sharon. Like, I mean, she's his attorney, Ian Taylor. She's wanting to know, like, how was he? Was he put in a lineup? Was it a photo lineup? Like, how does she? Like, there's got to be more to it than just his bushy eyebrows, y'all. I mean, if his bushy eyebrows were the only thing that she has to go on as far as identifying him, I don't think that's gonna stick. And Jay, like, I think it's only gonna get worse the as this goes on into the trial and all that. It's just gonna get worse. Like this, it's crazy. Exactly, Dreamcatcher. Like if she just goes in there and says that it was a dude who was like, "Hey, the amazing Tiff, how are you? This guy, I seen him walk by me. He had all black clothes on. He was uh, not how would she put it? Not muscular, but athletic built, 5'10" or taller. He had on a face mask that covered up his nose and his mouth, but all I can remember is the bushy eyebrows. It's just like it's not gonna stand up, y'all. Hey, Laura, how are you? He will shave off. Yeah, I don't think like to me now what we've seen him in court. I think his eyebrows have been trimmed. I mean, the girl uh, that cut his hair. I don't know if y'all saw her. She's had been cutting his hair since August, I believe she said. And I think it was December the 2nd. He called and wanted a hair appointment. And she said she cut his hair, and she was like, she couldn't believe after it came out that it was him when he was arrested. That, like, she actually cut his hair and made him, like, she made someone like him feel better about themselves. Which I couldn't imagine. Can you imagine? And I'm sure at that time she probably trimmed his eyebrows too. Marissa, you have to draw yours on. Let's see, maybe she caught a glimpse of him from the side as he walked by, and the eyebrows stood out from the face. Well, another thing Ann Taylor's going to ask her whenever she saw this man in black walk by her with uh, all black clothing on, a mask, the black mask on, covering his nose and mouth, and all she could see was his bushy eyebrows. Next thing she's going to ask her, was it dark in the house or was there lights on? I think that I think Ian Taylor's going to pick her apart, honestly. I don't know, y'all. This whole thing is just crazy. Like, super crazy. I really want to know what his parents and sisters are thinking of all this. I wonder if his sisters are thinking, because they're into like the counseling uh, thing, like that, that's their job or whatever. I wonder if they think now, well, like, they go back and they think over time, what did they miss? Like, what was it? Did he act a certain way, or, you know, like, was it something that they missed? She probably went and puked after she cut his hair. Okay, no, she said about 5'10" and athletic build. Okay, thank you, Annie. Dreamcatcher, I hope they do. I hope they have enough. I'm just, I think she's gonna pick her apart. More than likely, she's gonna do whatever she can to make Dylan look not credible. Because she's gonna ask if she was under the influence of alcohol or drugs that night. Oh, Venmo. Okay, thank you, Simple Butterfly. Let me check it real quick. All right, let's see. If it's, and Dylan, was the only one Simple Butterfly that you couldn't find? Okay. Can you imagine? Just see Big Eyebrows walk by me. Like, there had to be something else, y'all. Like, did he have a hoodie on? Was she able to see what color hair he had? Did he have a baseball cap on? Like, there has to be more to this whole identifying him. Like, there has to be more to it. Okay, so let me see if I can find Dylan real quick. Okay, so I got Xana, Ethan, Kaylee, Maddie. Okay. Hey Nina, how are you? Let's see. I remember seeing Dylan on Xana's where she had either she had paid Dylan something, Dylan had paid something to her, or Xana charged Dylan for something. And I never realized that Xana paid David Barachoa close to Halloween for something. Alright, give me just a second, y'all. I'm going through it. Okay, I don't see Dylan on here anymore. So maybe she's not, because I do remember seeing her Xana's on Xana's page. Let's see if she's still friends with her. Okay. Give me just a second, y'all. Okay, I'm just trying to catch up in chat too. No, she's not. She's not even on Xana's friend page. So I wonder why she. Let's check Haley's real quick. Hey, Stone Gator, how are you? How do you find people? Dreamcatcher, I'm looking on Venmo, trying to find her. Let me check on Maddie's. On Venmo, there's a thing on there where you can search for people, and you can see like if they've paid someone or charged someone, or someone has paid them, and sometimes the payments will have like a message or whatever with it, and then you can also see who they're friends with on there. But I don't see Dylan on here no more, so she must have. She must have left Venmo. I don't even see her on Maddie's either. Nope, she's not on there. So okay, hold on, y'all. I was just responding to a text message. Okay, let me check my emails real quick and make sure that I did get. Okay. All right, Emerald Queen, you said that you sent one to me. I don't see it, so it could be it just hasn't came through yet. I know sometimes it takes a while. Hey Carrie, how are you? Okay, how can the John Benet Ramsey case have just 3 FBI agents in Idaho? 4 had over 40. There got to be a lot more to this. Yeah, and poor little John Benet. That was a sad case too, y'all. All right. So we got about 10 more minutes before we're into the lab, an hour and a half. So I'm going, hey Scott, how are you? I'm going to go ahead and get everything set up for the drawing. Like I said, now what we'll do, I'm going to do 2 $25 Amazon gift cards. I'm going to do, whenever we find out who the winner is, you're going to have 24 hours to email me with you. So I will have your email so I can send you the gift card through the email. Uh, if you win, whenever you send me an email, uh, hey, Crane Hill Gal, how are you? Whenever you send me an email, please make sure that you put in the subject line your YouTube name. That way I can be looking for it in my emails, because a lot of times, hey Jerry, how are you? A lot of times people will send me something and they don't put their name on it. I have no idea who they are. So just remember, if you do win, um, just you have 24 hours to send me an email, and just make sure to put your YouTube name in it. Okay. Lord, y'all. I'm sitting here trying to spell something, and my autocorrect is just like not wanting to act right. Lawnmower Man, yes. And I actually have 5 parts of that. It's like the interview. It's like broke up into 5 parts that I'm gonna play here in a little while. Okay, so Katie Bug, if I get an email and it says Big Hairy Toe, then I'm gonna know that that came from you. Oh, Dreamcatcher, it's been, I don't know what's up with my autocorrect, but I'll try to send like a text or something, and I'll put live, or like if I'm talking about a live or whatever, and I put live, it always wants to put love, and then I have to keep going back over and like trying to fix it until finally about the 10th time it finally sticks. Okay, so Stone Gator, what I'm doing is tonight I'm doing a Amazon gift card giveaway for the 4,000. It's like I'm doing a 4,000 sub giveaway. I was gonna do one $50 Amazon gift card, but I decided to do two $25 dollar gift cards. It's always better to have two winners instead of one. So we're gonna do that. Everybody who is in here at the time, and thank you, Stone Gator. Everyone is eligible for it except for the mods. The mods are not included in the drawing. Hey, Miss Honeypenny, how are you? So I'm going to do the drawing. I've been live now an hour and 23 minutes. Uh, so I'm gonna do it at an hour and a half, and then I'm gonna do the first one, and then I may go through and do some stuff on the Alec Murdaugh's case. Like I said, I've got the night that Maggie and Paul were murdered. He was, I guess, interrogated, interviewed, whatever you want to call it. But he was in a car. It was him, his attorney, um, and 2 other agents. So it's 34 minutes long, I believe. But it's broken up into to 5 different parts. Stone Gator, no, tomorrow's Saturday. Uh, okay. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this pulled up. And y'all might have seen me go live earlier, and I literally put as my title, uh, testing something out. There's nothing to see here, and several people still came in, but I was happy they did because they were able to help me out with this, so I could be sure that it was working correctly. All right, so I gotta move my stuff over where I can see my whole screen here, y'all. Okay. Yeah, Crime Solver, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tell y'all a certain word to type. Y'all are gonna type the certain word, and then it's gonna put in everybody who types the word in is eligible for the drawing. I gotta figure this out. I should have set up another thing so I can see all of my screens. Okay. Oh, Crumb Stopper, you're welcome. Doggone crazy. All you got to do is just being here in a few minutes. I'm getting it set up now. I'm gonna give y'all the keyword, and I'm gonna pull it up on the screen where everybody can see it. I'm gonna give y'all a keyword. Everybody will type in the keyword into the chat. Everybody who types the word into the chat will then be put into that. It will make them eligible for the drawing. I know I got to think of a keyword. Okay. Give me a second because I need to grab my little sticky notes here. Oh, I got it. Okay. And I'm going to give everyone, about a minute to put type their word in. And y'all should know the word that I'm going to do. Make it easy to spell. The word I'm using is literally, somebody done said it. I mean, it's literally spelled 1,000 times a night, probably. All right, give me a second so I can put on here first drawing winner so I can keep up with it. Wait, little baby, you already know what it is. All right, so what are we at now? We're at an hour and 27 seconds. Okay. Oh, and I also have it where y'all can't spam the chat with the same word. So only say it once, or only say it once, Lord, y'all. Just type it once. Everyone who types it will be entered. Like I said, if you just spam it and you put it in there multiple times, it will actually disqualify you. So you won't be eligible for it. Okay. Get this pulled up on here. Face blue smiling. Kind of excited, y'all. I've never done a giveaway. Let's see. My trial schedule for 8:30. I think they're supposed to start back Stone Gator at 9:30 on Monday, on the 30th. Okay. Getting my stuff pulled up here real quick, y'all. Okay. I'm crazy in her little emojis. Okay. So, are we there yet? Dang it. Oh, shit. We got 10 seconds, y'all. So, I'm going to go ahead and give y'all the keyword. I'm going to give y'all about a minute to get your word in the chat, so that way it'll give everybody a chance. Okay. All right, so the keyword is going to be pickles. Hey, Gregory. Like I said, I'm going to give y'all about a minute because that way I want to give everybody a chance to get it in there. And we're in here doing a giveaway, and people's got to be timed out. Hey, Big Al, how are you? And Big Al, I don't know if you were in here a second ago, but the mods are not part of it. Uh, Sharon, did you put pickles in? I see you put deal, but Big Al. Okay, I didn't figure you would, Big Al. I just wanted to make sure I let y'all know because it gives me an option to include the mods. So I didn't include the mods. I'm sorry. All right, so it's pretty much slowed down. I think we're right at. All right, I'm gonna give y'all. Let me get over here where I can see my thing. I'm gonna give y'all another 30 seconds just to make sure, everybody was able to get. Sharon, throw your word in there, honey. All right, 28, 29. Okay, so fixing to roll it. And it's going to pop up on the screen who the winner is. Gregory, did you spell it right? I don't know, Gregory. I don't know where you put it at, but Baby Boop, you're just coming in, honey. I'm fixing to do a $25 gift Amazon gift card giveaway. If you want in on the drawing, all you got to do is real quick put the word pickles in the chat, and you'll be eligible for it. So real quick, Baby Boop, type pickles. Do what? Okay. Gregory Troll said you spelled it right. Oh, Baby Boot, no, honey, you got to put it together. It won't work like that. Hold on, let's give Baby Boop a second. And yes, good luck to everyone. And we'll get Baby Boop. Hey, Neil, how are you? Big Al Gherkins. Okay, she got it. All right, y'all. We're fixing to roll it. Good luck to everyone. Like I said, you got 24 hours to send me an email. Really, troll. With your. No, Baby Boop, it's fine, honey. You got 24 hours to send me an email with your name. And Deline is the winner. Deline Ilm. Okay, I'm writing her name down so that way I don't forget. Okay. All right. Okay, so Deline, you got, like I said, 24 hours to send me an email. My email is pinned at the top of the chat. Just make sure that you put in the subject line Deline M. That way I'll know that it's you, okay? And then I will send you the gift card through the email. Well, Pack, you better go charge your phone because I got another thing coming up here in a little bit. So we're gonna do one more giveaway here in a little while. I'm gonna go through some of the Alec Murdaugh stuff and get some of that out of the way. So congratulations to Deline. Okay. Now, let's stop sharing this. All right. And let me put my little sticky note up here. What am I looking for? Oh, Troll said I need to give y'all all the mods a jar of pickles. Troll, you eat enough pickles around here. Big Al saying pickles are strike. Well, I can tell y'all already, I've never been to White Widow Baby's house, but I can guarantee you she has a jar of pickles at her house. Troll always has pickles, y'all. Don't let him play y'all because uh he's always got pickles. All right, so I'm gonna exit out of Nightbot, and he's telling the truth, y'all. He really does eat a jar of pickles a day. Like, Big Al's got 5. How did somebody have 5 kinds of pickles? Hey James, how are you? James, did you miss the first giveaway? If so, I will be having one more for the $25 Amazon gift card here in just a little while. I'm gonna get through some of the Alec Murdoch stuff, and then gherkin steel, spicy deal, spears, whole, and slices. Good Lord. And Big Al, don't be giving Troll no ideas. Next time we go to the grocery store, he'll be done come out the store with about 6 or 7 different kinds. Let's see, TV. Okay, no problem, James. Like I said, I got one more that I'm going to be doing. Banker guy, thank you so much for the super chat. He says for 5 entries. I don't think that would be fair, though, Banker guy. I'm sorry. But thank you for the super chat. That was very nice of you. Be prepared. Yes, we do have another giveaway. I don't know what time I'm gonna do it yet, but like I said, I want to get through some of this other stuff real quick. Let's see. Hold on. Where did I order most by? Oh, Big Al, you sell them at the bar or at your restaurant? Is that why you order them like that? God, don't be telling Troll though. You can get them in 2.5-gallon buckets. Okay, let me go ahead and write my note real quick. Okay. All right. Okay, and then like I said, I will be doing as soon as we hit 200 members. I'm gonna do a 200 member giveaway, and it's gonna be for members only. So if y'all want to get in on that, you'll have to be a member for that. Kaz, how are you? Let's see. I go. Wait, where did Big Al's thing go? Okay, I go through a gallon of pickle juice a day, just in chasers. Oh wow. Banker guy's on the way to the kitchen to get him a pickle. Okay. All right. Tara, that's a good name. Big Al's Pickle Bar and Restaurant. All right, and let me go quick and see something, y'all. Let's see. The new chaser is dealer. Ooh, olive juice. Oh, I couldn't do olive juice. Okay, give me just a second. I gotta run into my studio real quick and look at something. MCOS, thank you so much, and we're happy that you're here with us. A Big Al, I don't even like olives. Now, I have gotten over here lately where I'll eat them like I eat a lot of cheese and crackers, and I'll eat them on cheese and crackers because I really can't taste them that much. But I can't do no olive juice. What am I looking for here, y'all? Oh, I completely forgot what I was doing. Ew, grape and musical. I can't drink nothing that tastes like grape. I ain't gonna explain why, but ugh, it's just okay. Give me 1 second, y'all. All right, so let me get out of this, get back into my email, so we can get started on this stuff. Where's oh here we go. And y'all, I just realized that my chat was not on live chat, so if I've missed anybody's uh comments, I do apologize. Oh, Big Al, I can't. I got sick on a grape drink one time. I refuse to drink anything grape. I won't even eat grape candy. That is just oh. Okay, so all right, I'm not. Let me move something real quick, y'all, because I was gonna play this whole thing in like the whole 34-minute thing, but I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna do the other ones off of um, Twitter. But I'm gonna get into this other video first. Oh, I can't drink grape. Just like I said, I got sick off of that drink one time, a Demon Days, and I can't do anything grape. No grape candy, no grape drink, nothing. Grape now and laters. Ugh. Just the thought of grape makes me sick. Oh my gosh. I open popsicles and immediately yeah, I won't even eat a grape popsicle. They're horrible, y'all. I can't. That's how I feel about tequila. Oh, Crime Crazy says if we get 40 channel members, I will sponsor the next giveaway. You might get something extra from Aussie Land. Oh, well, Crime Crazy, that is awesome. Thank you. So if y'all want in on that drawing, uh, the 200 member giveaway, as soon as we hit 200, we're gonna do it as well. Marissa wants to know, Crime Crazy, if it's gonna be Vegemite. Now, Sama, there is some grape vape juice that's not that bad. It has like a slight grape taste to it. It's really not that bad. But anything else, I can't handle it. Oh, wait a minute, Crime Crazy. If I hit 1,000 members, you're gonna come to the States. Is that what you're saying? Well, I was thinking of Tim Tams, but Vegemite might do it. Wait, little baby, you see that right? 1,000 members, and Crime Crazy comes to the States, y'all. That would be awesome. For real awesome. So we hit right now, 200 is the goal. Uh, so hopefully we can get up there so Crime Crazy can come to the States, y'all, and visit us. The States will never be the same. That would be an awesome thing, though, Crime Crazy, honestly. You could swing through and visit with White Widow Baby. Come visit with me and Troll. All right, y'all. Let me get into this one right here. This one, I'm going to go ahead and play it first. Uh, it's a little over 8 minutes, and I guess I need to pull the video up instead of it just sitting there like that. The heck? Let's see, you can't shoot 16 gauge and 12 gauge rifle. Scott, you mean a 12 gauge shotgun? That was a throw off item. Yeah, the 16 gauge shell will fit in a 12 gauge gun. You can't shoot it though. True crime sleuthin', how are you? Okay, wait, let's see. And real quick before I get into this video, how many in here, and just throw a 1 in the chat, if you are interested, are going to be watching the Lori Vallow stuff whenever it starts? True crime sleuthin', thank you very much. Casey, let's see, how long have I been on here? Hour and 45 minutes. So, and we've already done 1 giveaway. We're going to be doing another one when I get through some of the Alec Murdoch stuff. Then we'll do our second giveaway for tonight. All right, so there's a lot of people in here that's going to be following it. I'm praying, y'all, that they're going to put cameras in there. I know that Larry Woodcock, which is JJ's grandfather, he's wanting cameras in there. Tammy Daybell, which is Chad's wife who passed away, her family have said that they can't afford to go, because I believe they're down in Utah, that they can't afford to go back and forth from where they live up to Idaho. They're going to be doing the trial in Boise, and they can't afford it. So they were wanting cameras in the courtroom also. I think the judge really didn't have a problem with it, um, with the camera, but it's the what's his name? Crap, I can't. The DA and all them, the state, they didn't want the cameras in there. I can't remember what the guy's name is now, but he didn't want the cameras in there. So hopefully they will change it and we will get to watch it. It's going to be a very interesting trial. Tech Death, how are you? Okay, let me get back into my chat real quick, y'all. Let me get this off the screen. Okay, all right. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this to playing for y'all. I guess I need to share my screen. Dog, you're talking about Lori and Chad? I don't know. They're talking about the what was it, 144,000 and light people and dark people and numbers and zombies and crazy. That's what it is. Like she literally thought that her kids were zombies. And she sits in court like she doesn't have a care in the world of her kids being killed. It's just ridiculous. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this going. And while this is playing, y'all, I'm gonna mute out.
You are listening once again to live testimony from South Carolina in the murder trial of Alec Murdoch. His defense attorney, Jim Griffin, is questioning one of the detectives from that night. I want to bring in once again Bryan and Stuart Kaplan to talk about what we are hearing the defense do and some of their strategies. Few things stand out to me, and one is very gruesome, especially given the fact that we're likely going to see some of these images later today. But the defense uses very macabre details to describe the injuries to both Paul and Maggie, saying Paul's head was blown off. They have done this really since the start of testimony. It's something I'm not hearing from the prosecution in terms of how they are describing the brutality of these murders. Let me get your thoughts on why they might be doing that. Bryan, I'll start with you.
Well, I think they're doing that because they want the jury to believe that a husband and a father of a son could never carry that out, right? That's your own blood. That's your own family. So it's so heinous that it's inconceivable that he could do that. And that's a good argument, Marnie. And I think another point that the defense scored in this cross-examination is that the young lady on the stand didn't see any blood on Murdaugh. That's huge, because remember the question before that was, oh, you saw blood everywhere, you saw brain matter everywhere, but no blood on Murdaugh. So the prosecution, they're going to have to shore that up. And one question I'd be asking her if I was a prosecutor is, was Murdaugh wearing a raincoat when you were there and saw him at 12:22 in the morning? This is crucial because the prosecution is going to have to shore up that time from 9:06 to 10:10 when Murdoch showed up. Did he have time to drive to his mom's house, for example, drop off the raincoat, and then drive back? Was it raining that night? Why would somebody be wearing a raincoat? But man, the prosecution really is going to have to get into this issue of, the raincoat, was that tested, and was he wearing it then? Why is that important? Because Marnie, the prosecution is probably going to have to argue now that Murdoch had time to toss his clothes, trash them, throw them out, throw them in the river, or get rid of them, and then change, right? And then drop the raincoat off. But that they're going to have work to do on that.
Right, and they're going to use cell phone data to try to put him at the crime scene as well. Stuart, let's bring you in here. The other focus of the defense strategy right here was on the broadness of the search warrant. And he's asking this detective, who was interested in CSI prior to becoming a detective, you had broad authority to go into that house and search it. For instance, he said search a drain for any forensic evidence or blood that might have been in the drain if someone had tried to wash off blood from their clothes. Where's he going with this?
Well, first of all, for your viewers, that language is in every search warrant. That's boilerplate. That's fill in the blank type of language. That detective did not create that verbiage. That is something that's in basically every type of warrant in connection with this type of crime. But where he is trying to go is trying to tell this jurors or these jury members, look, there was all of this other potential evidence that they just completely ignored. They had the breadth of the broadest search warrant to go into the drains, go into the sewer lines, go into the closets, go into the dryer, go into the washing machine, go up in the ceiling, start banging on walls, tearing down sheetrock. And they just only fixated and zeroed in on Alex Murdaugh. They ignored the obvious, the footprints, the tire tracks. You see how sloppy, how inept, how incompetent these detectives were. That's where they're going. But I want to go back and Bryan's to Bryan's point, and I see it a little differently. You see, I don't buy into the storyline as scripted by Alex Murdaugh, because we're assuming that, in fact, that this was a close range type of killing, where what the defense attorney is trying to suggest is if it was such a close range killing with respect to the DNA matter that was splattered all over the wall, then it's more likely than not, then that splatter would have ended up on the shooter. Well, you see, part of the problem, though, is if I'm a prosecutor and I get back up and I try to suggest, well, if you roll over someone, and by the way, I think the graphic nature of the body camera video is going to be so damning to the defense, because when you see the amount of blood that is going to be on the floor and on the body and around the bodies, it would be impossible, and I'm going to underscore impossible, that any person, if it had been any ring of truth that Alex Murdoch came over and attempted to roll his son over to see if he was still alive, believe me, there would have been blood all over him, all over his hands, all over his, his knees, on his pants, on his shirt. So I don't buy into that scenario. That's the storyline that they're putting out there. Let's be honest. This guy, if in fact it's true, he blew away his wife and his son. He didn't go anywhere near these bodies. He only self-preserved what he knew he needed to do to insulate himself from any culpability and from any liability. I mean, and you watch him, and here's human nature. If your life is on the line and you have the background and the education and the experience that Alex Murdaugh has, he wouldn't have his head down. He'd be watching and listening to these witnesses word by word, line by line. He is just completely removed from these proceedings. That is someone that I believe, again, in his mind, he has to remove himself from what's being played out in open court today.
Right. And the issue of whether or not you rolled the bodies over to check for a pulse, his son's phone apparently fell out, if he would have blood on him. But in the audio that we heard yesterday, he asks the detectives, are they alive? If he had checked their pulse prior, wouldn't they say, you already know they're not alive, if you had in fact checked their pulse?
And to your point, exactly. And look, Marnie, I'm going to tell you, when these graphic, unfortunate videos come out in evidence, and they will be introduced into evidence, and so they'll be published to the jurors, let me be honest, because, and I'm sure Bryan would agree with me, because I know Bryan is an accomplished attorney who's handled homicide cases. When you see the graphic nature of these victims, no one would have to roll over this body to conclude that the body is lifeless. You're going to know without even coming within 10 feet that this person, unfortunately, has expired because of the injuries sustained. Let's be honest with that. And the first thing you would do, if in fact there was a ring of truth, if you came back into this house and saw what is going to be graphically depicted in this body camera video, the first thing you would do is grab your phone. You'd be in a complete panic. You'd be on the phone with the 911 operators and calling for the cavalry to get there as quickly as possible. And this idea that you would grab an actual murder weapon, the actual murder weapon of his son, and bring it out for self-protection, it's ridiculous.
A lot of questions that the jury will be asking themselves, putting themselves in the shoes of Alec Murdaugh if you came upon this gruesome scene on their hunting property in 2021. Thank you, Stuart Kaplan, and also Bryan Claypool for your analysis this morning as we continue to watch this case. Thank you for watching. Go to News Nation.
Okay, y'all. I think, honestly, I'm wondering if he's going to crack. With all the stuff that's being said about Maggie and Paul and the state that their bodies were in, they start showing, like you said, all these pictures and all that. I'm wondering if he's going to end up just admitting to doing it. And Casey, that's fine, honey. I just wanted to make sure that it was the Idaho case that you were talking about. Wait, little baby, I hope he does too. If Alex's DNA is on the shotgun shells, would that even matter? Lawnmower Man, I don't know, because I mean, if they're, in his house, like he's the owner of them, I don't know if that would matter at all. I thought it was kind of funny though when he was, I think it was in the interview that he did or interrogation that he did the night that they were murdered. And they asked him what kind of gun it was, and he couldn't remember if it was a Beretta or a Benelli. And I'm just sitting here thinking, and I think I even put that in the chat this morning when I was streaming it. Most gun owners know what type of shotguns they have, the brand. And he said he couldn't remember which one it was. So it's like a lot of crazy things with this case too, y'all. If I had come up on that scene, I would have vomited. How did he not? Honey, honestly, him being an attorney, he's probably, well, I mean, you would think he would have with it being his son and his wife. But being an attorney, though, like there's no telling what all kind of stuff he's seen over the years. See, I know every make and model of all guns. That's what I was saying, Big Al. Like he literally said, "Oh, I can't remember if it was either a Benelli or a Beretta." I mean, seems like he would have known what brand it was. Just like the cowboy days, Yes, that is true, Gigi. Like you know what you got. You know if it's a shotgun and it's 12 gauge, 10 gauge, 6, like all that. If it's a rifle, you know what kind it is. I don't believe exactly, Big Al, because Benellis are like super expensive. So I don't buy that he couldn't remember what kind it was. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Tara. Like, there's no telling what type of stuff he's seen. But then again, think about the maid. I think he had something to do with that. I don't know for a fact that he did. In my opinion, I think that he may have, and he didn't act like that bothers him. He even let her son get evicted. It had nowhere to go. Hey, Angel, how are you? And he didn't even care that her son After this lady has worked there 25 years for that family and helped raise his two sons, he could care less that her son got evicted. All right, so let me get to the next one. Okay. Yeah, Tara, what wasn't it like 4 point? I don't know if I wrote that down. How much that life insurance policy was? I think it was like 4.5 million or something like that. That they were supposed to get. Her sons were. Stone Gator. No, I haven't played it yet, honey. Actually, let me go play it because there are 5 parts to that. Let's see. So I've been on 2 hours. I'll get through the 5 parts of the interview in the car, and then we'll do the other giveaway. Okay, so it's easier to distance yourself from gory evidence photos or videos when you don't know the person, but this was his family and had some strange behavior slipped at night. Yeah, this whole thing is just crazy. Okay, what do we got? Okay, I'm just looking real quick, y'all. I'm trying to get over on Twitter. Oh, Dreamcatcher, yes. He had it all planned out. But one of Maggie's friends has said that Maggie had texted her that night and said that he had asked her and Paul to come up to the house, and that he was acting weird before they were murdered. And so it's almost like she knew, maybe. I don't know if she knew that he was going to do that. But it's almost like she knew that he was going to do something bad to him. All right, so let me find part 1. Like I said, there is 5 parts to it. Let's see. I think they're right at 6 to right at 7 minutes each. Okay. Oh, wait, no, I can't do that. Hold on. That's not going to work. Okay, I'll have to watch this tomorrow. New IV, a little bit of Ambien. Okay, Mar, you have a good night, honey. I hope you get to feeling better. Ruger 22, yes. They were both murdered at the same time, but with 2 different guns. And I'm gonna grab Bryan Itten's Twitter real quick, y'all, because I did retweet these from his Twitter. So I'm gonna, give him the credit for it. Drop it down in the chat. Hold on 1 second. Let me get this put in here. Okay. So if y'all have Twitter and y'all are not following Bryan Itten, you really should, because he puts out a lot of really good stuff on Twitter. And Ruger22, you're very welcome. F the Truckee Way, how are you? Wait, where do y'all see Brian R at? I see somebody saying hi to him. Okay, well, Brian R, if you're in here, I'm sorry, I don't see you for some reason, but how are you? And Somebody just said hi to him. Unless I'm seeing things. Yeah, Crime Crazy said hi to him. Wait, little baby. I must be seeing things, y'all. Welcome back, Candy. Oh, Bryan came in before. Okay. Wait, little baby. Well, I knew that I seen somebody say hi to him. I just didn't see him in chat, but I didn't want him to think I was uh, being rude or anything. All right, let me get back down to this one. Okay. William, how are you? Okay, see what, little baby? You're going to have me back scrolling back through the chat to see if I just am not seeing Bryan or. But Bryan, if you're in here, how are you? And thank you for joining us tonight. Honey, yeah, I think that's what he did. Two different guns. Try to say that there was two different people who did this. Like he literally had it planned out. Okay, let me get this because I'm gonna have to move some stuff around on my screen. So let me get back into my chat on my phone real quick, y'all. Okay. And then I'm gonna play it. Okay. All right, so I'm just gonna play this. I think I got my thing cut up enough. Is he Crime Crazy? Said he was earlier. So she was saying hi to him. Okay, so this is part one of the Alex Murdoch interrogation. This interrogation was taken uh, the night that Maggie and Paul were murdered, and it's Alec in the front seat with an agent. There's an agent in the back seat behind him, and then his attorney is on in the back seat on the driver's side, and he's basically just telling uh, everything that happened, or his version of everything that happened that night. So while it's playing, I'm going to mute out, and then once this is done, uh, I'll come back and we'll chat while I'm getting the next one pulled up here.
All right, sir. I left the house without my watch.
12:57.
All right, Mr. Murdoch. State your full name for me, please.
Richard Alexander Murdoch.
And spell your last name so I get it correct.
Murdaugh.
All right. And you go by Alec?
Yes, sir.
And date of birth, Mr. Murdoch?
May 27th, 1968.
And a good phone number for you.
803-942-1227.
All right, sir. And sir, what was your name?
Yeah, Danny Henderson.
Okay. All right. As I stated, I'm David Owen in Lower Rutland with Colleton County, and I'm with SLED. I hate to have to do this.
I understand.
Yeah.
I totally understand.
Yeah.
So you don't have any problem with it.
So just start at the top, take your time.
Like when I came back here, I mean, I pulled up and I could see him, and you know, I knew something was bad. I ran out. I knew it was really bad. My boy over there, I could see it was.
I'm so sorry.
And I could see his brain on his. And I ran over to Maggie. And actually, I think I tried to turn Paul over first. You know, I tried to turn him over, and I don't know. I figured it out. His cell phone popped out of his pocket. I started to try to do something with it, thinking maybe, but then I put it back down really quickly. Then I went to my wife, and I mean, I could see.
Did you touch Maggie at all?
I did. I touched them both.
Okay.
I tried to take. I mean, I tried to do it as limited as possible, but I tried to take their pulse on both of them. And you know, I called 911 pretty much right away, and she was very good. I talked to her. I told her I was going to get off the phone to call some family members. I did that.
What family members did you call?
I called my brother Randy, and I called my brother John, and I tried to call a little boy, real good friend that's right around the corner from here, but I didn't get him.
What all was around Paul when you walked up?
Blood.
Anything else?
I mean, there were some body things, yes, sir.
I mean, like any other evidence? I know you said the phone fell out the pocket, but did you see anything else that didn't belong or shouldn't belong or that wasn't part of Paul?
No, sir. Not the. No, sir.
How about Maggie?
No, sir.
You didn't see anything around them? What made you come out here tonight?
I went to, my mom's a late stage Alzheimer's patient. My dad's in the hospital. My mom gets anxious when she does. I went to check on them and Maggie. Maggie's a dog lover, and she fools with the dogs. And I knew she'd gone to the kennel. I was at the house. I left the house and went to my mom's for just a little while. Tried to call her when I left. Texted her, no response. When I got back to the house was obviously nobody was in there. So I figured they're still up here fooling around. Paul was gonna be getting set up to plant. Our sunflower seeds got sprayed and died, and he was refiguring to plant the sunflower seeds. So I came back up here and I drove up and saw and called.
Had Maggie and Paul been arguing over anything?
No.
What was their relationship like?
Wonderful.
Wonderful. How about yours and Maggie's?
Wonderful. I mean, I'm sure we had little things here and there, but we had a wonderful marriage, wonderful relationship.
And yours and Paul's relationship?
As good as it could be.
How old is Paul?
22.
Okay. You know his date of birth?
I do. April 11th, 96 is his brother's. April 14th, 99 is Paul's.
Okay, 1 second, y'all. All right. I'm just going to move it on up to part 2. And did y'all hear how he literally had to like think how old his son was and then think when his birthday was? This dude, y'all. I don't understand him. And you watch him. Wait, is it playing? That's not supposed to be playing. If you watch him, he like looks over at the guy next to him, like to see if he's watching him. It's weird how he's doing. He's clearly just faking this whole thing with all his crocodile tears. All right, so let's go ahead and I'm gonna start this one now for y'all. So this is the second of the 5. Tara, it was Paul, the one who was the youngest son who was murdered.
What's Maggie's full name?
Margaret Brandstetter Murdoch.
And her date of birth, sir?
September 15th, 1968.
Have y'all been having any problems out here? Trespassers, people breaking in?
None that I know of. The only thing that what comes to my mind is my son Paul was in a boat wreck a couple years ago, and there's been he was charged with being arrested for being the driver. There's been a lot of negative publicity about that, and there's been a lot of people online just really vile stuff. But when Paul's out and about, I mean, people routinely, I don't think I know the full story, because I don't think they give it to me, but I mean, he's been punched and hit and just attacked a lot. So, but I mean, nothing like this.
Yeah. Any one person in particular or group of people?
I don't know.
That you could think of?
Not that I know, no, sir.
Has he, other than being assaulted, has he received any direct threats related to the boat accident?
Oh, yes. All the time. He gets
recently?
Yes, sir. I mean, he gets them all the time.
Okay.
He gets them all the time.
What kind of,
I'm gonna kick your ass, I've never been privy firsthand,
Is that through social media or?
No, ma'am. It's mostly like if he goes out places is what he goes out like somewhere. He's in college, so if he goes out is what I understand.
Mm-hmm.
I can find out better details from some of his younger friends on that.
Who's his best friend?
His best friend in Colombia is Will's Chapman, Will Loving, Bobby Boyle. Bobby Boyle, Will Chapman, and Paul were getting ready to move into a house together in Colombia.
You said Will Chapman and Will Loving?
Will's with an S, okay. Chapman, and Will with an L, Loving.
Okay.
Around here, his best friends are clearly Nolan Tootin and Rogan Gibson.
Tootin, Nolan Tootin.
Yes, sir.
And what was the other one? I'm sorry.
Rogan Gibson.
Have you talked with any of these guys tonight?
Talked with Nolan, yes, sir.
Is he out here?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I tried to call Rogan, was one of the people he's the boy that I told you lives
Okay,
around the corner.
okay.
That's very, he's just a good, helpful young man. You mind if I open the door really quickly?
Go right ahead. Do what you need to do. So is there anybody that you can think of that we need to talk to tonight? Is there a name that comes to mind?
I mean, I can't tell you anybody that I'm overly suspicious of off the top of my head.
Okay.
I mean, this is such a stupid thing. I'm even embarrassed to say it, but it just didn't make any sense. I just hired a guy out here, and he wasn't cutting the mustard, but I hadn't told him this yet. Paul's been working with him a lot. He killed the sunflower seeds in our dove field just recently, which is why Paul was here doing this. He told Paul a story the other day about how when he was in high school, he got in a fight with some black guys, and the FBI undercover team observed him fighting those guys and put him on an undercover team with 3 Navy SEALs, and that their job was to kill radical Black Panthers. And they did that from Myrtle Beach to Savannah. Now, I really don't think this guy, is probably the person, but that's just so freaking.
Yeah, that's kind of far-fetched story.
It's weird, but he was off today.
Okay.
He took his daddy to the doctor.
What's his name?
CB Rowe.
ROWE?
Yeah, and I sent him a message to text me earlier today about the sunflowers, and he called me back when I was on the way to my mom's house.
Did you talk to him at that time?
Briefly, I was on the phone with a lawyer friend of mine named Chris Wilson from Bamberg, so I told him I'd call him back tomorrow, see him in the morning.
When you briefly talked to Mr. Rowe, what was his demeanor or attitude? Or
I mean, it seemed normal. I mean, I asked him about the sunflowers, and so, I'm sure he's a little bit.
Where does he live?
I don't exactly know. Somewhere in Bronson.
Okay. Do you have his phone number?
I do.
You got it with you, please, sir?
I do. But I do think him and Paul got along pretty well. That's just really, really weird. All right. CB.
Okay, 1 second. Let me get the next video. Yeah, this dude. He is just, he's all over the place. And some of the stuff that he's just throwing out there, like he's just dropping the dude that worked for him, and I still ain't figured out what he was talking about that he finally figured out when he was referring to Paul's body. I don't understand why he doesn't have any blood on his hands or on his clothes if he went and he said that there was blood all around Paul's body, but he touched both of them, but he didn't get no blood on him. Like, this is Stonegator. I think someone had said that Buster was out of town during this time. Like, I don't know. honestly, I think he, in my opinion, is completely lying through his teeth. It's crazy, y'all. All right, so let's get on to the third video. Yeah, Candy. Buster's the oldest, and then they had two sons. Buster was the oldest, and Paul was the youngest. And Buster's the one, if y'all watch the trial when they're live streaming it, he's actually the redheaded boy that sits behind Alec in the courtroom. Yeah, Gigi. Buster's the oldest son. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this one started.
Yeah, I know he called me, so I'll go to that. Okay.
843-540-9335.
You need to get that phone on the charge, Alec, if you can.
Is that an iPhone?
Yes, sir.
Watch your leg for a second, please.
Thank you.
When did he tell that story to Paul?
Sometime last week.
Okay.
Sometime last week. My son Paul actually, I really do not think, in all honesty, that it's him, but I know y'all got to check it out. But Paul was so taken aback by it that he sent, I'll find it, I got it on my phone. He recorded him saying bits and pieces of it.
Okay.
No. But for all his weirdness, I do think they they got along
Okay.
pretty good.
How long had he been working here?
I guess about 3 or 4 pay periods, so 8 weeks, a couple months.
Okay. Going back to the boat incident, anybody on that boat really have a hard on for Paul that you would think would come after him, or know of any direct threats from people on the boat?
I don't know of any direct threats between any of the people on the boat specifically, but I do think there's been a small amount of yip yap between a couple of them, but not recently.
Okay.
Most of this was stuff from people that Paul didn't really know.
Okay.
It was some people that he knew distantly, but more times than not, when I learned about it, it was somebody that he didn't know.
Okay.
It's like, for example, he went out in Charleston a couple months ago, came back, he got a black eye. And, he can't defend himself right now because he has these charges. So, Paul was a real tough man's man. He would just.
He would defend himself, but he hadn't been.
That's right. But
how was he handling that case? Running over everybody.
As far as what?
How was he handling it?
I've never been prouder of him than the way he has handled the pressures and the adversity in that situation. I think I've told Danny that before.
Mm-hmm.
Paul is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful kid. He can do almost anything. He gets along with almost anybody.
Do y'all store any weapons out here?
We don't store them, but they're frequently out here. I need to find out if there were any out here because I know there was a shotgun. There was a 12-gauge shotgun out here. I'll have to find out exactly when that was. I think it got put up, but I'm not positive.
What did that shotgun look like?
It was a camouflage. I want to say it was a Benelli or maybe a Beretta. I can't remember which brand it is. But I don't think it was out here recently. But I'm not positive.
And the shotgun that you had when deputies pulled up, where did that come from?
I went to the house and I got a gun. Probably overreacting, but.
And was that when you pulled up and saw them?
No, I came out and I called 911 first. Talked to them for a little while, and then I told her.
You told her
that I was going to go to the house.
Okay.
And that I would let authorities know when they got here that I had a gun.
Okay. Do you happen to have a list of all your guns?
I can make one. I don't have one, but I can make one.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying, so we could compare if that shotgun was out here and now it's missing.
Absolutely.
Try to figure that out.
I know, absolutely.
And I know living out here in the country, you probably have more than one or two.
We do. We probably have 20, 25 guns.
Yeah. Shotguns, rifles,
pistols.
Any rifles?
Yes, sir.
What kind of rifles?
All kinds.
Yeah.
All kinds. You name it across the board, we have them.
Okay.
And all of them we have are, in a hunting room in our house.
What was their schedule today? When did they get home?
My son works for my brother, and he was coming home to deal with the sunflowers.
Okay, 1 second. Let me get up to the next one. Hey, Casey, how are you? All right. Okay, here we go, y'all.
Sunflowers. He got here. He got here pretty early because he and I rode around looking at everything for a good little while, probably 45 minutes to an hour. Maggie had things she did in Charleston, and she had a doctor's appointment in Charleston, and she got back here. It was fairly late.
Was it dark yet when Paul got home?
No, Paul got home early.
Early, okay. So before dinner time? Or
oh, yes, ma'am.
Lunchtime? Or
no, ma'am.
What brother does Paul work for?
John Marvin.
And what does Paul do for him?
Everything.
Just handyman?
Yes, sir.
was it unusual for Maggie to feed the dogs this time of night or check on them?
Oh, no. She played with those dogs all the time. And it's especially common for her to, she's been gone for a while, to come and let especially two of them out to run.
Okay, so she pretty regularly comes out here in the evenings?
Very regularly.
Okay.
She comes out here a lot.
Do you have any cameras on your property?
I have deer cameras, but none, you know, around up here.
Where are they at?
On different deer stands.
Okay, so deep in the woods.
Well, not necessarily deep in the woods. Some of them are in fields and
Okay.
but I don't. There's none that, you know, are near here.
Okay.
What doctor appointment? What doctor did Maggie see today?
I forget the guy's name. Maggie's been having trouble with her. She's been having trouble with her stomach and her tooth. I'm not positive. It was sort of a routine visit, and I can't remember. She told me the name of him, and I can't. I want to say Gordine
Okay.
is who I think she saw.
So was she back home around supper time? Or 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock?
I don't think she got back quite that early. I think she got back a little bit later than that.
Okay. What did you do today? Were you at the office or?
Nope, I was home. I came home. Paul and I messed around. I was up at the house. I laid down, took a nap on the couch, probably, I don't know, 25, 30 minutes. I got up, I called Maggie, didn't get an answer, and I left to go to my mom's. She had said she might ride with me, but she normally doesn't when I go over there. And I think I texted her. And she's very good about answering the phone, so that was odd, or calling me back. So that was odd, but it wasn't that big a deal.
Now, what time was that?
What time was what?
That you sent her a text message.
All right. I texted her at 9:08, going to check on M, be right back. And then I texted her at 9:47. That must be when I started to come back. I think I called her before that, but let me make sure. Pretty sure that I called her 9:45. And then I tried Paul. And then, no, I think that was riding. I think that might have been riding over there. 10:03. I mean, my calls are right here.
Yeah.
So, obviously this is when I, at 10:06, can I have a piece?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Take the coffee.
Anybody else want some gum?
No, sorry.
You don't have any water, do you, Danny? That's all right. I don't need it.
If you behind Danny's head is case of water.
It's not a big deal.
Yeah, I got some right here.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
I'm sure we're going to have much more questions.
I'm available to act. You let me know.
All right.
Sunflowers.
We got one more. Did y'all realize though that when he said it's not a big deal, like he sounded mad a little bit? Okay, so this is the last one, the last video, and it's a few seconds over 6 minutes.
You let me know.
What's another number in case I can't get you on your cell?
I don't have a house phone.
Okay.
An office number. I can give you my brother's cell phones.
All right. What's Randy's?
Okay, Randy's is 803-943-8881.
And John's?
John Marvin's is 843-321-5508.
And you said your dad's in the hospital?
Yes, sir.
Which hospital? Charleston or
Savannah, Candler, St. Joseph's.
Is he doing okay or what's?
He's having a really, really hard time. He's got a lot going on. He's doing okay given everything, but he's got a lot going on.
About Maggie's family, where are they?
Somerville.
Have you been in touch with them tonight?
Contacted, yes. I had my brother call Bart, the wife of his sister, the husband of Maggie's sister, so that they could go and tell Maggie's parents. I felt like they needed to hear it in person.
Mm-hmm.
And they are going there and calling me. So they must not be there yet.
Maggie's parents in Somerville?
Yes. And her mom just had a knee replacement surgery, and her dad really has trouble getting around nowadays.
Do you have any other children?
I do. I have a 24-year-old.
That's right, you said. What's his name?
Buster. Well, Richard Alexander Jr.
Okay. He goes by Buster.
He goes by Buster.
Is he here tonight?
He's on his way.
Okay. Laura, you got anything?
This one's hard, but when you first saw Paul, you said you tried to flip him over. Was he laying on his back or on his stomach?
Just like he is.
Just like he is. So you weren't able to move him. Okay.
No, ma'am.
Okay. And did he help Maggie a lot out here with the animals?
He helped everybody with everything.
Okay, so it was kind of routine for him to be out here as well in the evening?
This place is his absolute passion.
Okay.
I tried to turn him, and then I checked him, and I think I already knew, but I checked him.
And when you first pulled into the property, did you come from this direction where all our police cars are, or which way did you come in?
I went to the house.
Okay.
And then I came from the house
This way.
straight here. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Where my vehicle was parked is probably
is where it was. Okay.
Well, no, maybe not exactly, but it was pretty close because I came back the same route.
That's right, because you went back to get your shotgun.
When I came back.
All right. I can't think of anything else right now, but we'll certainly be in touch.
Thank y'all for everything y'all are doing.
Yes, sir. So just to kind of let you know what's going to go on, we're going to be out here for quite some time. The coroner will take custody of Paul and Maggie.
Can I answer that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. What? No, let me. We're finished. Let me come out. Well, I'll be here when he gets here. No, don't let him come up here. Okay. Yeah. I think we're about done. All right. Thank you. I'm sorry.
Buster, in here. Okay.
Yes, sir. I dropped my card.
We'll get you one.
Sorry.
I'll get you one.
There you go.
Thank you.
So the coroner will come over and talk to you. They'll do the autopsy and everything, and then go from there.
Thank you.
But we'll come to you before we leave.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you, Ms. Rutland.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
Here, you want this water?
Oh, yes, please. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, y'all. This dude. He is so put on an act. He is literally putting on an act, and he's not too good at it. He's making his throat. Yes, y'all. This dude. I honestly don't know what to say about it. I'm speechless on this one for once. This is ridiculous. Like, this dude is so putting on an act, and he's not a good actor. He's really not. Let's see. Do you know? Please don't get angry with me. He is actually crying. I have a different opinion. He had, let's see, many enemies due to his frauds. Yeah, Sima, he did. He had a lot of enemies. His son, I think, Paul, that was murdered, had a lot of enemies too because of the boat accident and the 19-year-old girl getting, she died because of it. And at first I thought, well, maybe someone it was like a retaliation type thing because of the boat accident. But seeing all this, I don't know. He's not putting on a good act. Like, most people would be hysterical to see their spouse or their child in that condition. So he is still being a con in jail. And Fern, how are you? Dreamcatcher, I don't either. Like I said, to begin with, when it first happened, I thought maybe it was something to do with the boat accident, but he just, I don't know. I'm gonna be dreaming about sunflowers now, though, y'all. It's crazy. Definitely not winning an Oscar. Carrie, no, he's really not. Let's see. I've never seen someone so coherent, stable after losing his loved ones. I mean, he literally held a conversation like there was nothing wrong. Koch, yeah, he did. And he ended up, uh, because it didn't work out, uh, he ended up confessing that he had hired someone to do that to him. And that guy is now in jail and is also going to be one of the witnesses. And Tara, that's true. You wouldn't, that was your spouse or your child, and you saw them in that condition, and they've, uh, or even if you didn't see them, just the fact that they had been murdered, like you would be hysterical. All right, y'all. So, are y'all ready to do the next giveaway? Let's see. Another release does. Okay, wait. So they shoot for fun over and over. And the Krista, I believe that's the reason for the sunflowers. Because I was looking on Google Maps, and uh, it looked like at one point they had pine trees planted out there. The speculation station, yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. He says that he saw that, but he checked for his pulse. It doesn't make sense, James. Like you literally just said that you saw him, but you checked for his pulse, but yet you have no blood nowhere on you. No blood, no matter, no nothing. Werewolf Queen, no, the mods are not going to be a part of this giveaway either. I don't. Wolfpack that. So Wolfpack says. So did he do it or have somebody else do it? What does everybody else think? Thank you, sweet Melissa. It Wolfpack. That's fine. But that is a good question because he's being charged with both murders and also the gun charges. He very easily could have hired somebody because he hired a guy to take him out. But oh, Emerald Queen, hold on, honey. Let me look real quick. Yes, it did. All right, and Delene, I got your email as well too. So thank you for that. Wolfpack, yeah, that was actually that all those little clips that we just watched. That was all like a few hours, I believe, after midnight, the night of the early next morning of the murders. Okay, whether found guilty or not, he's facing 700 years for the fraud. Yeah, he's gonna be more than likely, even if he walks on this, he's going to spend the rest of his life in jail anyway because he's got 99 fraud charges on him. So I think either way he's going to be spending the rest of his life in jail. All right. Let me get, because we're fixing to do the giveaway. Let me get my thing pulled back up here. Speculation station. I bet you that woman knew a lot on just the different. Not saying she had anything to do with any of it, but but I think she knew a lot on him. Candy Deline is the one who won the first giveaway. Uh, Werewolf Queen is the death. I don't know if South Carolina is a death penalty state, but they're not going after the death penalty. They're going just for life in prison. And Wolfpack, you're very welcome. If the turkey way, I don't know. Mhm. Let's see. Karma for all the wickedness he's done, and I have no doubt he's done more. Yeah, there's no telling. All right. Okay, so I'm getting my stuff set up. Hold on one second, y'all. I need to mute for just a second. All right. Okay, so everybody in this one will be eligible to win except for the mods. And since Deline won in the first one, she won't be eligible for this one. And remember, whoever it is that wins is for a $25 Amazon gift card. If you win, you have 24 hours to send me an email. My email is pinned at the top of the chat. And uh, please make sure that whenever you send the email to me, that you include your YouTube name in the subject line, so I'll know that it's coming from you. All right. Give me a second. Let me get a word in here. Okay. And also remember, just to enter the word one time, because I do have it's called an anti-spam on here. If you spam the chat with the word, it will disqualify you. Okay. I think I got everything set up on here. Okay. Now, let me pull it up here for y'all. 1 second. Okay, giveaways. Okay, so the keyword is win, just WIN. Y'all go ahead and start putting it in the chat. And I will give y'all about 2 minutes. I want to make sure that everybody gets a chance to enter. And James, the likes, sometimes it'll do that for me. Like the likes won't change. I always have to like exit completely out of YouTube. And then come back into the chat, and it updates it. All right. Stone Gator, you got your word in? There's 168 people in here, so I want to make sure I give everybody a chance to enter. And good luck to everyone. And James, I don't like the new update. It the whole taking it from the top chat to the all message thing. I don't like it. Okay, and anyone new that's coming in, we're doing a giveaway for a $25 Amazon gift card, and all you got to do is enter the word "win" in the chat. Excuse me. Someone misspelled the word. Hey, Brown Bear, how are you? All right. I'll give you about 30 more seconds. Excuse me. I got to get my Claritin Monday. All right, so 20 more seconds. Sarah Bear, how are you? And Sarah Bear, have you put your word in for the drawing? All you got to do is just put the word "win" in the chat and you'll be entered into the drawing. Hey, Amethyst, the ugly truckling, have you and Amethyst put y'all's word in the chat? Hodog, Candy is saying that you misspelled the word. Okay, 1 second, Jerry, and I can check for you. Let's see. Let me check Jerry's real quick, y'all. Okay, Jerry, yes, you're in. Okay. You're welcome. Okay. All right, let's see. All right. Okay. So we're about to roll it. Like I said, whoever it is that wins, 24 hours. Fern, let me check for you real quick, honey. Y'all have 24 hours to send me your email. Fern, yes, you are. Hey, Paige, how are you? Okay, so I'm fixing to go ahead and roll it. And Fern, you got it. Give me 1 second. Let me write her name down. Oh, shoot. I wrote her name all wrong. Hold on. Okay. All right. Give me 1 second. Let me put this up here so I don't lose my little stickers. Troll, make sure those don't fall off that up there. You hear me? Make sure that those don't fall off up there. Okay, so Fern, you've got 24 hours to send me an email, and just make sure that whenever you do email me, that it has your YouTube name in the subject line, so I'll know that it come from you. Okay. All right. And Fern, you are very welcome. Thank you, everybody who entered. So now, like I said, when we get to the 200 members, we're going to do another giveaway. My God, I've got to get my Claritin. Okay. All right, so let me get this down. Let me get this off of here. All right. I'm going to put the link out. If anybody wants to come up for a little bit and, talk about the craziness of the Alec Murdaugh case. Yeah, Fern, here, I'll type it out in the chat for you. Okay. Okay, Fern, I just typed it out for you. All right, and I've got my notes with Delene's name and Fern's name. What was my number, Troll? My member number? Shit, I looked a minute ago and I can't remember. Hold on one second. I got 158. Honey, you have a good night and thank you for coming and hanging out with us. Oh, wait, hold on. Why was Wolfpack, why was he timed out? Did Brown Bear get him by accident? Oh, okay, it was an accident. Okay. Wolfpack, that was an accident. Wait, what happened to Paige? Okay, y'all, I slipped and fell in the rain day before yesterday and broke my ankle. I already had hardly run. Paige, I'm so sorry. Y'all keep Paige in your prayers. Izzy, you have a good night, honey. Yeah, Brown Bear, you did it by accident. Okay, it's raining here. Anyone getting rain? Oh, God. Well, if you're getting rain, James, then more than likely it's going to be heading my way. Since you're to the west of me. Let's see. Oh, dang. It's supposed to rain here Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Good Lord. Yes, y'all. Let's keep Paige in our prayers. That she gets better soon, and her ankle stops hurting her. Hold on one second, y'all. Okay. Let's see. Patsy Klein, you have a wonderful night, honey. One of the real ones, yes, I'm gonna do open panel for a few minutes. Let me grab a link for you. Okay. The ugly chuckling, I didn't realize that we were supposed to get that much rain. James is getting it now, so I'll be getting it early in the morning. And I forgot where you said before you were from, the ugly chuckling, but I know you're to the east of me, so you'll be, after I get it, then you'll get it. Oh, Alabama, okay. Let's see, I'm glad it snows. It slowed in here. Oh my god, F the Chucky way. I hate rain. I mean, I like it better than snow, but I don't think we need any more rain. So Simple Butterfly says she was born and raised in Alabama, now in Colorado. Simple Butterfly, do y'all have a lot of snow up there now? See, Sammy, you can have all the rain. Because I'm tired of it. Four seasons. Alright. Alright, I'm going to drop the link. I don't know if one of the real ones is still in here or not. I'm going to drop the link one more time for... Oh, well, you still got a lot of snow. Tara, you're from Ireland? That is too cool. Okay, one of the real ones, I'm bringing you up. How are you? You're muted.
I always want to make sure my YouTube's not going while the StreamYard's going. Thank you for having me.
Can you hear me? Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. First of all, thank you for having me.
Oh, you're welcome.
And I know you were talking Bryan Kohberger and Alex Murdaugh case tonight. Kind of like I said before, I'm not super familiar with the Alex Murdaugh case, but I had just like a couple things about the Bryan Kohberger Idaho 4 case. I think like my biggest question that I'm asking myself at this point is, it's like my thoughts on law enforcement. You know, it's because we've been hearing all these different stories. We've been hearing all these different points of view, opinions. And I don't know about you, but I'm kind of at this standstill point where it's like, what do I believe? What do I not believe? Do I, it's like, do I fully, completely trust law enforcement, or do I stand back and be a little bit skeptical about what is being presented?
Right. Yeah. I mean, because like I want to believe what they're telling us, and that they got the right person and there's nobody else involved in it, and this and that, but they told us so many things in the beginning of it that turned out not to be true. And I think that's where a lot of people are having a problem with trusting them fully.
I agree with that. And it's like, it's almost funny. I went through these like stages of not grief, but it's like when they have nothing, and then suddenly they're arresting a suspect. And what I have found myself doing is asking myself is like, what was the intent? Was it to protect the case? Was it to protect viable information? And one thing that we do know was true, and that actually makes so much sense now, is like as soon as it was released, the two other roommates had survived the attack, and they were okay. They were pretty much put right into, like, if you want to call it, witness protection. And I think at the time, so many of us questioned, like, well, why are they being so protected? And then the affidavit comes out, and it turns out, I know I've seen a couple of responses that both roommates could identify Bryan. But I mean, just me personally in my own research, I've only seen that DM has identified the defendant. So I don't know. It's just like, it's just weird if you look at like how this case has unfolded so far. It's like you don't trust law enforcement, and then they like
Right.
give out information, and you're like, okay, I understand why you did what you did, but now it's like, what about all this other, I hate to say, like, bullshit? Like, where's it gonna go? Like, is it gonna be the same thing where then at the trial in June you're gonna present all this evidence and we'll all understand, like, okay, I get why you didn't tell us it, or is it just gonna be like unanswered questions forever? And I don't. It's at this weird like pivot point where I'm at. It's like, where do I go?
Right. I know it's this whole thing. Like it's for some reason we get all these crazy cases.
I know.
They like it turns out to be so many twists and turns, and we're being told this, but it's actually something else, and I don't know.
Yeah,
It
and I
makes
think
my
like
brain hurt, honestly.
it does for me too. And I think like part of the reason why I'm so on edge and like skeptical of what they're going to tell us is because I don't know about you, but like for me personally with the Kylie Rodney case, I sat and I trusted that we would get answers and that the truth would be brought through law enforcement. And as you know, the longer and longer and longer we waited, it just went away, and there was no truth, there was no justice. And that's why, I think so many of us are kind of like on edge now and like so skeptical of law enforcement because we're seeing all these cases like portrayed all across the country where we're told to just like wait, answers will come, and then that's all we do, and then when the time comes, nothing's presented.
Yeah, that's just like with Kylie's autopsy. Like,
oh yes. And
that whole thing.
I don't know if you're familiar with Trinity Backus at all.
Yes, I covered that one too.
Yeah, I don't know if you've looked, but it's more missing puzzle pieces than there are there.
Yep. I just the whole book that Aunt Ashley put on Facebook is what got me. Her explaining what happened that night and putting Logan in each little spot of the house, like she's trying to give him an alibi for the entire night. And then at the end of her long book, she says, we'll eventually come out and tell the truth, or we don't have a problem coming out and telling the truth, or however it was she put it. It was just, like that whole case
like,
was
okay,
weird.
So what is the truth? Then what is the truth?
Right.
And I don't know if you've deep dove into that case so much, but I was watching, like I've looked into it quite a bit, and then I was watching Draw Latina, and I was on Fire and True Crime and Faith joined her tonight, and they kind of walked it through the autopsy though, and it's like if you look at even the clothing items where Trinity was said to have left the house wearing, and then you look at what they found her, there's multiple clothing items missing, but there's no marker of where they were found, no marker of where they were taken off, and even just like the positioning in the body, and it doesn't even come down to this one, down to multiple cases where, it's like we're told just wait for the answers, like the autopsy will reveal, and we get the autopsy, and like I don't know about you, but like the day that Kylie Rodney was found, I heard some, oh my goodness, thank goodness that community can now be at rest. And I watched the video and looked at the logistics of the rescue, and I'm like, I don't think anyone's at rest. Like me personally, I have more unsettled now, knowing her body was found the way that it was, than she was missing. And
I was thinking, she was found on August the 21st.
Yeah.
Kylie was.
Mhm.
That was also, I got thinking about that the other day because when we were talking about Bryan Kohberger, and that was, on the 21st of August is when he was pulled over and given the seatbelt tickets, and he was over around the girl's house that night. And I kept thinking, like, I know something else happened on August 21st. And then I thought about it. And that was the day that when we were all, because I live streamed that when they were going in, they found the car, they're pulling the car out and everything. I live streamed that whole thing. And I just got to thinking about, like, we sit there and we watch them pull her out. And just later on that same night, Bryan was sitting outside these girls' house and got a
Yeah.
ticket from leaving their house. It was just a very
It's like a
just
synchronicity,
right. Yeah, and that's like I was
And I
saying
think it's
earlier. Like I was saying earlier, like okay, so with we have Kylie, but then with
Mhm.
the Idaho 4, we have a Kaylee, and then we
Mhm.
have a Maddie, but then
And
on the Alec Murdoch case, we have a Maggie. Like their
yeah,
names are not the same, but very similar.
and not saying it's tied whatsoever, but I am only bringing this up because I've seen multiple YouTube content producers screw this name up. You have Xana and you have
Are you still there?
yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, you cut out for a second.
Oh. I was saying I'm not saying anything is tied whatsoever, but I'm just watching the two comparisons, and you have case within the Idaho 4, and you also have a Xana May who reportedly had videos of being at a processor
Yes,
during the
Lord,
Kylie
that one
case.
there.
I have watched multiple YouTube producers confuse the name Xana and Xana when they are switching back and forth between the cases. That's like been the biggest standout thing to me.
Yeah. I mean, yeah,
But you
because
want to know
if
what?
you've covered the cases, like all of them enough, you can be like I've caught myself. I'll be talking about Kaylee, and I want to say Kylie, and
Mm-hmm.
it's very easy to get it because we're so invested in these cases.
I mean, it's
And,
true. It's true, and it's like I don't know about you. I think just like kind of where I live, like the Kylie Rodney case has been a main topic of my attention. But then ever since this Idaho case came along, I'm like, I can't steer away from it.
I know these cases get addicting.
It
They
is,
really
it
do.
is, and it's like the Kylie case and the Idaho 4 case, and um, I guess like real quick while we're talking on Kylie, if you don't mind me mentioning,
Mm-hmm.
you just look at the way that the events unfolded, and it's just so hard. Like I said, you like look at everything and you're like, well, what's true and what's not. Like you kind of question everything, like you have Adventure with Purpose come in, and like I'm not at all, and you have Placer County Sheriff and you have Nevada County Sheriff, and for some weird reason AWP was steered towards Boca first.
Right, which was super weird.
And it was weird. And I will say, I'm not from the area, but I'm close. I live close to the area, and I was visiting Boca on the day that they were searching, that AWP was searching Boca,
Oh,
and
really?
but they were very respectful. They were very kind. I briefly just said like, thank you so much for what you're doing. But in my thought process, I was like, why are you here?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why are you at Boca when I'm pretty sure the party took place 10
I
miles away
just
at Prosser?
I don't even believe there was a party, honestly. Like there's no proof whatsoever of a party. No videos, no pictures, no nothing. If it was
Can
a
I tell you my
party, it was
theory?
it
Can I
if
tell you my
if it
theory?
was if it was a party, it was uh, a very small
Part.
get together.
And you just nailed it, because like I know people. I did not grow up in that area personally, but I do know people who have, and who went through high school in Truckee, and are very deep rooted in that community, and to have a party at Boca, to go out and to have a party at Prosser, it's not something unheard of,
Right.
And the more and more I listen to these people's stories, like, I do think that there was a party. But when you look at the numbers, and if you even just look at the interviews of the population of the party, it literally increases by 100 people every single time they do a new interview.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, it started out from 35, and then it went to 75. It went to 150, and I think it maxed all the way out to like 450 people.
Oh yeah, the last time I heard it was they had interviewed 400 juveniles, I believe is what was said.
Yeah.
I believe that's what I think that was the last one I heard was 400. And I just kept thinking to myself, like, where the hell is these 400 juveniles at?
And like, I mean, if you look at a graduating class from Truckee High School, it's about 200 people.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Like 150 to 200 people. But if you have a senior graduation party that's at 400 people, it's like, where are these other 200, 250 people coming from?
I mean, where's all the pictures and the videos?
Exactly.
You can't make me
when they originally stated that they had so many pictures and so much footage.
Right. I mean, you can't make me believe that there's 400 teenagers at a lake. They all have cell phones, and there's not one picture, not one video, not one, what was it, VSCOs, no Instagrams, no Snapchats, no nothing.
When the party was originally thrown out from Snapchat.
So I don't believe it, honestly. I think there's a lot of shit that was a cover up with Kylie's case.
Real quick.
Sure.
You said when to send you an email. You said to put a YouTube name in it.
Yeah, because it makes it easier for me to know who it is that sends me stuff, because a lot of times people will send me something and I have no idea who they are.
Okay.
Because I know everybody by their YouTube name. So it makes it easier on me if they put their the YouTube name in there.
Okay. I was gonna send you an email real quick, so I wanted to make sure.
Okay, no problem.
You know what? Then it's like you can take like small town up to like the Idaho case. It's like I look at the Kylie case, and I do think that there's so much hidden information that people within society are, and I'm not saying Truckee as a whole, I'm saying specific people who know the truth, who don't want to bring it forward.
Right.
And you look at Idaho, you look at all these other cases. Like, I mean, I think brought up Elliot Rogers the other day, and then I know 10 to Life did the very, very extensive video of him. About like the incel information. And I think the only reason I might have said earlier, like, why that one resonated so much with me is because I happen to live in the time of Elliot Rogers, and it was scary, and it's like to think that like a person like that was living among me, a person like that was in my college classes. It makes it real, because like I'm not in the but to realize that at one point I have gone to college essentially with a person who is going to go out and commit these heinous crimes, commit these like gruesome, awful murders. It makes things real. It makes it scary.
Right.
And I don't know, it's just like it also does come back to, it's like you never know who's around you, you never know. who's watching you.
That is true. All right, I hate to run. I'm probably fixing to end it here in just a second.
Don't worry about it.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I said, don't worry about it.
Okay, because
We
your
all
mic
need
keeps,
rest.
huh? Your mic keeps cutting out. I can't,
Sorry.
like,
I said we all need our rest.
yeah, I haven't even been to sleep, y'all.
Me one favor.
Mm-hmm.
Will you wait up until my email comes through?
Yeah, because once I end it here, I got a few things I got to do around the house anyway. So as soon as it comes through, I'll email you back and let you know that
Okay.
I got it.
And it will be in literally like 10, 20 seconds. So,
Okay.
but thank you for having me. Like I said, always, I appreciate coming up on your panel. Like, I know so many people say it, but your voice is just so soothing, and
Well,
I
thank
like
you.
the calm, collected energy and ideas that are on your channel. So thank you very much for providing that.
Oh, you're welcome, and thank you for coming up.
Yeah, of course, anytime.
All right. Well, have a wonderful night.
Yeah, thank you. You too, and I'm sure we'll talk soon.
Okay. Talk to you later.
All right. Good night, everyone. Bye.
Bye. Okay. Oh, Milo comes to say hi to everyone. Must have got lost. You have a wonderful night. Wolfpack, you have a wonderful weekend as well. And like I said earlier, I'm sorry about the timeout. It was done by accident. Carrie, you're welcome. And I just want to say real quick before I get off, thank you all for coming and joining in tonight to do the giveaways. That was a blast. Hold on one second. Okay, I keep hearing a buzzing noise in my headset. So anyway, thank you all for coming in and hanging out with me. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna try to get some rest. I love you all. I hope you all have a wonderful night. I will be back tomorrow night. I may try to go live a little bit early, like at 10 instead of 10:30. So, but I hope you all have a wonderful night, and I will see y'all all tomorrow.